Hello people, welcome back to my channel Study with Nandu, and this is another lecture on the subject of human resource management. So in the last video, we have discussed about competency mapping concept, components and steps, right? Now in today's video, we will be discussing about types of competency mapping, what are its methods and what are its applications. Fine. We all know that competency mapping helps organization identify the qualities required for the successful job performances, right? Now, these qualities can be behavioral as well as technical. Okay, so first let us understand about behavioral competencies first. Okay, so the behavioral competencies approach was founded by David McClelland. So who founded this? Who is the founder of this? David McClelland. Okay, so this approach was developed by David McClelland. Now, behavioral competences refers to the personal qualities, attitude, and behavior that an employee to perform effectively and interact positively with others in the workplace. So, these behavioral competencies are the personal qualities. Okay, so these are the personal qualities and attitude, behavior that help an employee perform effectively. So they can build a positive relationship with others, right? So what do you mean by personal qualities here? Personal qualities means these are the natural characteristics of a person. Okay, natural characteristics of a person like honesty, whether he is confident or not, or will he able to take up the responsibilities or not, how much patience he is having. Yes, this all comes under personal qualities. Attitude means what? How a person thinks and react towards the work. Okay, let me take an example here. There are two employees, say A and B. Okay, please ignore my writing. There are two employees, A and B. Okay. Now manager wants to assign an extra work to both of them. Okay. Now what employee will do is he will accept the work. Okay. He will accept it and he tries to complete the work on time. Okay. He will accept it. But what employee will B will do? He will not accept it. His attitude will be like, why should I do this? This is not my work. I'm done with today's work. I'll not do it. Why should I do it? So this type of behavior is for employee B. Now, employee A is having positive attitude towards the work and employee B is having negative attitude towards the work, right? So, behavior means it refers to the way a person acts and interact with others, okay? Like respecting your colleagues, yes, being punctual on time, you need to be in the office, or listening carefully while someone is speaking with you, or helping your teammates. This all comes under behavior, okay? Now, it focuses on how employees perform their job rather than technical skills they possess. So technical competence is what they'll tell us what an employee knows. Okay, what skills he's having. But behavioral competences tell us how the employee performs the job. Okay, how he is reacting towards the work, right? So this behavioral competences are intrinsic capabilities. Okay, intrinsic means what? Qualities that comes from within a person. Okay, that is which is inside the person, like integrity, responsibility, self-confidence, and positive attitude. So this all comes under intrinsic capabilities, and they are portable. Portable means what? These competencies can be used in any job or in any organizations. Am I clear? Hope I'm clear with these behavioral competencies. So there are five basic types of behavioral competences. First one is individual competences. So individual competences means personal attributes such as confidence and self-motivation. Individual competences are the personal characteristics that help an employee perform effectively on their own. Okay, so this competences focuses on self-management, self-motivation, self-development. Okay, so he himself want to develop the things. Okay, so employees with the strong individual competences are usually confident. They are very confident, they are disciplined, and they are responsible and even adaptable to the changes and committed to their work to achieve their goals. Right. Second one is interpersonal. Interpersonal means what? Attributes such as high energy levels, communication skills, teamwork, and persuasiveness. Interpersonal means what? How they are talking with others. Okay, their communication will how the communication skills are, right? So this all comes under interpersonal. Interpersonal competences refer to an employee's ability to communicate. Okay, how they are communicating with others, how they are cooperating to them, and how they are building a positive relationship with others, right? So this comes under interpersonal. Okay, so these competences are essential because most organizational activities require teamwork, right? Teamwork means you need to interact with your colleagues. There will be a group of 5 or 6 people, right? Daily you need to interact with them. right? So this employee with this good interpersonal competences communicate clearly with them, is an activity, and contribute to a positive work environment. Okay. Third one is motivational. Motivational means what? Attributes including motivating others and taking the lead on new initiatives. So here they have come up with new ideas, new concepts, right? So motivational competencies refers to an employee's ability to maintain enthusiasm and take the initiatives and encourage both themselves and others to achieve organizational goals. Fine. So this competences helps employees to perform beyond minimum expectations and contribute positively to the organizational success. Okay. So they don't end up with a deadline. Okay. So they go beyond the deadline and uh, try to come up with new ideas for the successful organization. Hope I am clear. Next. Next we have managerial. Managerial means leadership skill, decision making capability, and managing teams and individual. So manager competencies are the abilities required to plan, organize, lead, coordinate, and control organizational activities. So generally, management means you need to understand this things: plan, organize, yeah, plan, organize, coordinate, control. Okay, so generally management base we come up with these things, right? So this helps managers to make effective decisions and guide employees. They allocate resources and achieve organizational objectives. So they are particularly important for supervisors and managers because they are responsible for managing teams and improving organizational performances. Yes. Last is analytical. So analytical competences means what? The ability to review data and scenarios and making good decisions in a timely fashions. Analytical competences are the abilities that help employees to analyze information, solve the complex problem, and make effective decisions. So this competency is especially important in today's business environment because decision must be taken based on facts, not on assumptions. Okay. So these five behavioral competences plays a crucial role in determining an employee's success. Okay. It determines how effectively they work, how they interact with others to solve problems and contribute to organizational success. Okay. Now, developing these competencies enhances both individual uh, and overall organizational effectiveness. Hope I am clear. So, what are the five basic types of behavioral competencies? Individual, interpersonal, motivational, managerial, and analytical. Clear? Now the second one is technical competencies. Okay, so by the name itself, we can understand the technical competency, right? So technical means what? The skill and knowledge required to perform the job effectively. Yes. So if a person is a software employee, what his competencies will be? Generally for software you need to have a coding language knowledge and what software you need to use. Yes, this type of competences you need to have. That is technical competences, right? See, technical competences refers to the knowledge, skills, abilities required to perform a specific job effectively. Let me take an example here. So if a person is a professor, okay, if a person is a professor, then what his competences should be? What are the competencies he need to have to become a successful professor? So he should have first thing is knowledge on the subject, right? And should have proper communication skill to explain the concept. Yes, he should have a knowledge on the subject and proper communication skill to present it, right? So these are the technical competences he need to have. Yes. Next. So how these competencies are acquired? How these competencies are acquired? So these are not inbuilt in a person, right? So by birth, we didn't got these competences. You need to learn it, right? So you need to learn through your education, training, and work experiences. Yes. So these competencies are directly related to the technical aspects of a role and can be learned through education, training, and work experiences. Yes. So competencies is a work-related concept referring to the areas of work in which an employee is competent. So it is more of a hard skill. Yes, as this is a work-related concept, this technical skill is mainly about hard skill. Okay, if we say technical, what skill it is? Hard skill. Okay, but when we talk, sorry, yeah, but when we talk about behavioral skills, what is behavioral competences? It is a soft skill. Okay, behavioral competencies are soft skill, technical competencies are hard skill. Fine. Yes, hope I'm clear with its technical competences and behavioral competences. Now let us understand about methods of competency mapping. First is assessment center. So by the name, don't think it's a place or institute. Assessment center means don't think it is an institute or a place. Okay, it's a process. Okay, it's a process. See, this involves situational observation to evaluate performance and growth potential of the candidates relative to specified job attributes. The approach uses various types of discussions and simulation exercises. Note this point: discussion and simulation exercises to reflect real life demands of the job. See, it's a process of analyzing the potential of the individual. Okay, it involves discussion and simulation exercises. What do you mean by discussions? Like group discussion or case study, right? They'll give you a topic and ask you to express their ideas and solve the problems, right? Simulations means what? They will recreate a scenario. Okay, they'll recreate a scenario and ask you to perform. For example, they'll give you a pen and ask you to sell it now. Okay, so here they'll evaluate how you are performing and how you are discussing. Yes, see, candidates are asked to work through certain scenarios while a trainer, okay, while a trained assessor, see, while a trained assessor observes their behavior and selects the individual who are good match for the current and future requirement. Now, during this activity, the assessor will observe how well you are communicating, your leadership skill, team management, etc. All this will be observed by an assessor. Okay, so this is about assessment center. Now, let's move on the second method of competency mapping, which is called critical incident technique. Okay, first let us understand the word critical incident. Critical incident means a situation where an employee performs exceptionally good or exceptionally bad. See, the critical incident technique is a method of competency mapping in which an organization collects and analyzes real life incidents. Okay, they analyze real life incidents where an employee's performance was exceptionally good or exceptionally poor. Okay, both the cases they will take the information and they will analyze it. By studying these incidents, the organization identifies the competences that leads to success or failure. Now let me take an example here. There are two cases here. Okay, first of all, there is an employee who is working as a customer service executive. Okay, so there are two cases, employee A and employee B. Let me take, so both work as a customer service executive. Now they will receive a call from a customer who is very angry on their services, right? Now what this employee A will do? First of all, he remains very calm, control his temper, first of all, right? Now listens what is the problem of the customer and solves it immediately. Okay. Now the customer is very happy and loses his anger and he will leave, right? Now the employee B, in the second place, what if the employee is also angry on him? Okay, he's controlling himself. Employee A is controlling himself. Okay, but employee B is not controlling. He's also showing his anger, right? So what if he says, why are you shouting on me? Who the hell are you to shout on me? What's your problem? Right? So there are two cases here. Here the problem got solved, but here the problem not got solved. Okay, this problem didn't get solved, right? So now comment below what competencies employees A is having and what competencies employee B is having. Yes, this is your job. If you understood this competency mapping concept, you will comment below what competencies both the employees A and B are having in both the cases. Clear? Now, this critical incident technique studies the real life success stories and also they will study the failure stories also to identify the competencies that employees need to perform their job effectively. Right now, the next method is personal interviews. Okay, so in this method, the interviewer talks directly with the employees to understand their knowledge, skills, experiences, and behavior. Okay, so it's a personal direct interview, face to face interview. The interviewer asks structured questions about the person's work experiences and observe how they are responding. Okay, so example, like if a asking a sales candidate how they convince the difficult customer to buy their product or services. Okay, so according to the candidate answer, the interviewer will conclude that okay, for sales executive, the individual should have communication skills first and confidence level, problem solving ability, and customer orientations. Okay, so these things, these competencies you need to have for salesperson. So they'll analyze it in this way. Yes, so I hope I'm clear with critical incident technique and personal interview. Now let's discuss the another method of competency mapping, which is questionnaire. Okay, so what is questionnaire? questions, a list of questions, right? So instead of interviewing people one by one, HR gives a questionnaire to complete at their own convenience, right? So this make it easier to collect information from a large number of people. For example, suppose a school wants to identify the competences required for a teacher, okay? Teacher competencies the school is finding, okay? Now what the school will do, it will distribute a questionnaire to teachers and principals and management, okay? So what questions they will be asking, like how important is classroom management, do teachers need good communication skills, and how often do you use technology in teaching, or what qualities make a teacher successful? This type of questions will be asked in that format. So after analyzing the responses, the school identifies the competencies, okay? Now, what competences should have to a teacher? Subject knowledge, classroom management, communication skills, patience level, creativity skills, right? So this all types of competences teacher should have, right? Next, unlike personal interview, you can read this here if you want. Like, it is used for gathering information about job competencies and work performances. So here, HR professional collect information from employees, managers, supervisors, or subject matter experts using a structured set of written questions. Okay, structured set of written questions. So the responses helps identify the knowledge, skills, abilities, and behavior required for a particular job. So unlike personal interviews where the interviewer asks questions directly, the questionnaire method allows respondents to complete the questions on their own. Right. So in a personal interview, the interviewer asks questions face to face, right? They'll sit opposite to them and they'll ask the questions face to face, and also they can ask follow-up questions based on the candidate answer. Right. But in a questionnaire, the questions are written. Yes, and the respondents answer them independently. Here, the interviewer will not be present in front of them. Clear? So next we have psychometric test. Okay. First, let us understand the meaning of the word psychometric. Psycho means what? Mind. Mind. Psycho means mind, and the metric means measurement. Yes. See, psychometric tests are standardized scientific tests used to measure an individual's abilities, personality traits, intelligence, aptitude, interest, attitude, and behavioral characteristics. So in competency mapping, this test help organization identify whether an employee or candidate possesses the competencies required for a specific job. So psychometric tests are scientific tests used to measure different characteristics of a person, such as their abilities, personality, intelligence, aptitude, etc. Now, for suppose, let me take an example here. Imagine a company is hiring a software engineering, right? Now, instead of testing only programming skills, the company also conducts a psychometric test to assess his analytical thinking, logical reasoning, his problem solving ability, concentration level, his learning ability. So these all things will be measured. So this helps the company determine whether the candidate can perform effectively in the role or not. Hope I am clear with these methods. So next we have applications in competency mapping. If you are clear with the concept of competency mapping, then this will be very easy to understand. So generally, way we use competences, competency mapping is not only used to identify employee skills, but it also helps organization in almost every HR function. Now, let us discuss about applications in competency mapping one by one. First is here recruitment and selection. So, competency mapping helps organizations identify the skills, knowledge, and abilities required for a particular job. Based on these competencies, HR selects the right candidate. Okay. Second one is training and development. So here in this competency mapping identifies the gap between the competencies employee currently having and the competencies required for their job in the organization. So based on this gap, the organization provide training. Okay. Third one is performance appraisal. So employees are evaluated based on the competencies required for their role. So this makes the appraisal process more fair. Fourth is career development. So if suppose employee wants to grow in his career, that is he want to achieve higher position in the organization, then competency mapping helps employee to understand what qualities or what competencies are required for that particular position. Fifth is succession planning. Competency mapping helps organization to identify employees who have required competencies to take higher positions in the future. So the last one is compensation and rewards. So organization can reward employees based on their competencies and performances. So employees with higher competencies will receive better salaries, promotions, incentives, or bonuses. So these are the applications of competency mapping. First is recruitment and selection. Based on the skills, knowledge, and abilities, the right candidate will be selected. Second one is training and development. What the current employee competencies are and what organization wants. They compare it. If there is a gap, they provide training to the employee. Yes. Next is performance appraisal. Based on the competencies and performances, the appraisal is given. So this will be very fair and equal. There will be no biases here. Okay. Next is career development. If suppose an employee wants to grow in his career, okay, he will understand what competencies or what skills he need to have. Yes. Next is succession planning. So with the help of this competency mapping, organization can analyze who will be the best candidate for the higher position in the future. Next is compensation and rewards. Based on the competencies and performances, the compensations and rewards will be given to the candidate. Yes. So these are the applications and competences. Now, quickly comment below what are the 5 methods of competency mapping which we have learned in this video for your revision. So if you found this explanation helpful, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to Study with Nandu for more easy HRM and MBA lessons. Comment below what topic you would like me to explain next. Don't forget to comment the 5 methods of competency mapping, right? Let's wind up this video here and continue in the next part. Thanks for watching the video. I hope you found this lesson helpful.